All right, so I just want to encourage those of you that are listening about mistakes, okay? A lot of us don't understand how God works when it comes to us as humans making mistakes. And so I just want to give you this quick word of encouragement because I'm in a situation now, and I have been for many other issues, where I think I've got to just stop making mistakes, and then God's going to open doors and I'm going to be blessed. And if I don't get beyond this phase and just like snap out of it or just fix whatever it is that I'm doing wrong, then I can't move on. And what you got to understand about growth and about sanctification and about this process of, if you want to call it trial and error, if you want to call it a learning curve, if you want to call it experiences, all of that amounts to the growth process. And I'm not saying that the mistakes are necessarily sinful things. I'm not talking about those things. You have to deal with sin and let sin kind of run rampant. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about you as, let's say, a middle schooler, a high schooler. If you look at some of these kids, let's say, that are that age, they don't know certain things and they have to kind of go through this process of touching the fire and knowing that it's hot. And then they understand, oh, this is the feeling of what it means to be burned, and so on and so forth through each person, their level, whether you're dating and figuring out relationships, whether you're trying to figure out how to speak to the opposite gender, whether you try to figure out how to do an Excel spreadsheet at work, or if you're trying to figure out how to get into, financial things like investing or whatever it is, whatever level you're at, whatever stage you're at in your life, and however this applies to you. What I'm talking about is this process of going through sort of these mistakes. And if you think about, a lot of the characters in the Bible, God, he gave grace, he gave mercy. He didn't expect us to be robots, to be perfect. Only Christ was perfect. And for many of us, God is using this season for you to kind of grow through things. You're going to continue to have trial and error. You're going to continue to make certain mistakes until you really feel the burden, you really feel the emotion, you really feel the weight of the understanding of the revelation before you move on to something else. So you don't take it for granted. You don't look at it and say, oh, maybe it was just a fluke. Oh, maybe I didn't really understand the gravity, the emotion, the heavy toll it's taking. Because then you can appreciate the lesson learned. You can appreciate the growth. You can appreciate the success, the breakthrough for what it is once you move forward from the season of going through that mistake cycle, or however you want to say it. I don't even want to, in some sense, call it a mistake in that it sounds and is associated with a sin, but rather your inadequacy, rather you falling forward, you're tripping many times. This whole process, when you're running a race, when you're training for something, you're going to come upon those failure sets. When you're taking a rep, when you're doing chest press, when you're doing your back exercise, you get to that point of failure. And as you learn and understand what that is, then you adjust, you tweak, you overload your sets, whatever it is. That process is necessary, and you can embrace it and you can say, you know what, Lord, yes, it would be great if I can just get beyond this and not make the mistake and get the breakthrough. You can get the result. You can get the solution to something. It would be great. But at the same time, God, he's allowing you to go through the process. He's not saying, in some sense, for many of you, again, you can to each your own. He's not saying to you, give up and stop because what you're doing is wrong, and it might be a sign for whatever it is that you have to pivot and redirect yourself. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's that you have to go through the full process of falling forward, hurting yourself in some sense, taking some damage. Let's say you're an athlete, whatever it is. The analogy holds true in the sense that God, he's putting you through this process. You just have to get through it. You have to embrace it. You have to allow God to finish the work, finish its course. And he's going to allow you to get to the other side. Christ is walking with us. The Holy Spirit is inspiring us, giving us words of encouragement, giving us things to say, the decision making. All of these things are part of the process. So don't sit there in grief and in sorrow and anger, and you have all these pent up emotions. Don't sit there thinking, being all self-conscious, thinking all these things, but rather step forward in gratitude, step forward with anticipation for a better tomorrow, for a better future. Once you get through this, then you can see the greener pastures. You can see the other side as God is showing it to you in the right time and season. So take heart, be hopeful, have no fear, have faith in Him, and surrender all of it, because He's going to work it out for your good. Don't be concerned about this little thing, this momentary, temporary issue, because it's gonna be bigger than that. Love you guys. Be encouraged. Guys, you guys know I'm doing a 40-day inspiration series. We'll love your help, your engagement, also prayer, financial support. All the information is down below. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon. Very soon.